What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Jeameave.
And your boy Machiavelli.
Back again with Views from the Heart, and today we got a little segment we like to call Wisdom Wednesdays.
West Side,
or West Side Wednesdays, but we're gonna, keep it with the Wisdom Wednesdays.
Live from the West Side, as usual.
Hermosa Beach, actually.
West Side, best side.
Taking in the blessed views.
Y'all see it. Beautiful waves, beautiful sun.
But today we wanted to discuss a topic that really resonated to me that my brother brought to my attention. And I think this is something that will resonate with pretty much everyone that is human. One of the things, the topic is going to be essentially, if someone were to give you an envelope that is sealed, that has your exact date and time of death, would you open it?
Oh man, my answer is no, I can't. Only for the simple fact, like I said, I want to, I can't, if I feel like I know my date of death, like I feel like everything I want to do is be rushed, especially if I was like, yeah, you die tomorrow at 10 p.m. I'm like, bro, damn, I was like, bro, I barely started my life. But
for me though, honestly, it would be half and half. Like I would want to know, and then at the same time I wouldn't. And then that brought up the question, well, what if what if it was told to you? Like, God forbid, what if circumstances were told to you where you're terminal? And one of the things that really resonated with me is it actually reminded me of an episode of House MD. Best show ever made. Thank you very much. No arguments.
Bro, I'm not.
Shut up.
Game of Thrones.
I said no arguments.
We're not gonna argue, but go ahead.
Or anyway, for my faithful House viewers out there, Dr. Wilson diagnosed a patient with obviously terminal cancer. He gave him 6 months to live, and during his 3-month checkup, post initial diagnosis, he discovered that he had made it was basically a false positive. The cyst that was looked to be and tested positive within the biopsy was shown to be benign. It was not malignant, and therefore obviously the prognosis of terminal means that obviously the person is living, clearly. And when Wilson told the patient that, the patient was stunned. And I think that is something that is you would think that's kind of weird, but imagine someone telling you you have 6 months to live, and 3 months into that 6 months you are now told that you will be living and there is no cancer. You should have a fairly lengthy life ahead of you. And one of the things that resonated with me was, this is disregarding any sort of monetary actions you may have taken, like selling house or things like that. We're not going to include necessarily that into the equation at this exact moment. But one of the things that resonated with me was the person ended up wanting to sue Wilson. And one of the main reasons for that was the fact that the patient told Wilson that, I'm suing you not because necessarily of monetary value that I've lost by selling his house, etc., and so on and so forth. More so that I was happy for the first time in his life for these past 3 months, and now you're telling me that
you gotta go right back to that
and now you're telling me that I'm living. I was happy when you took that away from me. And his reason for that was he was living as if every day was his last. I mean, realistically speaking, wow. that's really what he was doing. And it resonated with me in a sense that he said that he was living every day in the present instead of in the future. And when I look back on it, there is many things that we do, especially when we're young. We always say, oh, we could do this tomorrow, we could do this a couple weeks from now, we could do this months from now. We plan things ahead of time and things like that. And some of us try to be so rigid in our planning that we lose sense and lose sight of living life up to that goal. And I think that is extremely crucial, and that to me really struck me deep, because it forced and coerced that person in the show, obviously, to discover what made him happy. And he literally said that his happiness was now taken away because of the fact that he's now living. Obviously he has to deal with reality and the things and the financial choices that he made, but it was more so he found his vice, and I think what resonated with him was he was living his life. Perhaps he wasn't living to, you know, under someone else's means or paycheck to paycheck. He was just living stress-free, because in his mind, well, I'm dying anyway. So, and to me, I think the question I want to ask you people, our faithful viewers, is what makes you happy? And are you happy right now? Like, can you honestly sit there and say, look yourself in the mirror and say, are you currently happy? And even if you can at that moment, what can you say when you're laying down, moments to go to sleep, you know, when we're all by ourselves and our most innermost, deepest recess of our mind's thoughts comes into play, and we think about maybe all the moments that are what ifs and all the what could be, and you know, because you know we're all culpable of that. And like I said, I want you to reflect on that in terms of just asking yourself what makes you happy. And if you honestly don't really know exactly what makes you happy, I think it's imperative to find out what makes you happy. And even then, would that realistically make you happy, and how long could that make you happy? Because there's a lot of things we could do that can, at least at the very least, make us happy momentarily. But if you knew that you had a prognosis that stated, can you reasonably say that by doing whatever comes into your mind, will that make you happy from start to end? So what makes you happy? What do you think makes you happy? What do you think fulfills you?
Easily, hands down, I know one of the biggest things that make me happy is loving people and being loved by people, helping people. You know, even though sometimes I'm not even gonna lie, you know, I'll have like $1.39 to my name. I can't even get a McChicken from McDonald's. You feel me? But some days out there, there's somebody that really needs that dollar more than I do. I know I'm gonna be blessed. Well, I'm not saying I know, but there's
you know that you're gonna fight for more to be blessed.
Exactly.
You have the opportunities in front of you.
Exactly.
And that's the most important thing, is just the opportunity.
That's it. You gotta seize the day. Honestly, and it's crazy because when you're just speaking, bro, your mindset's different when you get that. Yeah, you got about 7 months to live, and now from that news, the time you get the news, you're like, bro, I gotta fulfill everything I wanted to do.
Or you could just say, maybe what you wanted to do wasn't really what you wanted to do. Maybe the life goals you set in front of yourself, like maybe if you wanted to be, I don't know, a lawyer or a doctor or something, maybe something that was kind of dictated by your family or something like that. Maybe you could say, well, obviously I have X amount of time to live, and I'm this age. Becoming this sort of, this profession requires years. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna make music. I'm gonna play the guitar or something. Travel the world. I don't really know.
Make you happy.
I think that sort of response is obviously personal. Not necessarily personal, but it's on an individual basis. I don't think there can be a blanket statement for everyone. But just like for my brother, I think for me the most important thing is love. And for me, I think every human on this planet is meant to show love, and hopefully it's reciprocated. And that's just my personal opinion. That's just what I try to do. I try to be 100 with everyone that I come across. I'm not perfect. I'm human. I know there's some things that I've done which I wish I could take back, or some things that I've said that I wish I could take back. But at the end of the day, I try my absolute hardest to ensure that any person that I come across, either they know that I don't necessarily like them per se, but at the very least they can say that I've been truthful with them the entire time. And that's just something that I try and stress, is that sometimes I get certain vibes about people that I don't really want to mess with, and that's just me personally. It's nothing necessarily personal. It's just I like to keep my circle small. I mean, have you guys really seen me with one other person besides my main viewer, Alexia? Thanks, shout out to you. I mean, and my brother right here. So,
and it's funny because I'm not saying I was in a situation, but there's a point in time where I had a mutual, not mutual friends, but I was trying to introduce my brother to somebody, and he told me, I don't really catch the vibe from this person. And I'm not gonna lie, at the moment I was kind of heated, like, bro, what do you mean you don't catch the vibe from this person, bro? Like, this is my boy, like, I'm rocking with this. But, I had to literally step back. When I went to my room, I had to, like, sit there and like, bro, you know, not everybody's gonna like who you like. Not everybody's gonna, you know, vibe with who you vibe with. That don't make him a bad person. Like I said, I'm not gonna disown my brother because he don't like one of my friends. And I know he wouldn't do that for me. He wouldn't do that to me. But like I said, it's just everybody's different. Like you said, you can't. It's an individual. It's on an individual base. You know, you can't really blanket that question with based upon everybody. But I think one of the main ingredients to being happy, honestly, is love.
And just
hands down.
And I think love is the quintessential on top of the pyramid in terms of being true to yourself. You know, typically you do what you want to do out of love. You have a passion for it. You know, it's all encompassing. And I think one of the main ideals that people need to understand too is that not everyone is going to like you. Me doing this, where I idealize myself, I know there's going to be a lot of people that aren't going to like me, even though they've never met me or know anything much about me other than what I put on here. And honestly, I could say, yeah, I don't care anything. Like, honestly, when I see certain comments, yes, I would be the first one to admit that yes, it does hurt, because I don't understand how some people can sit there and take the time out of their day to say something like truly negative. Not constructive criticism, but just like be negative, like, oh, you're this, you're that, because of certain qualities that you see in yourself, or because of your skin color, ethnic background, religion, anything like that. Like, I don't understand how some people can have the time to really just be negative on a person over things that are ultimately outside of their control. You know, it'd be different if someone would be like, well, you know, I don't like this video because this and that, can you do this and that to make things better? That's understandable. That wouldn't necessarily hurt me. But I know when we did our first couple trolls and things like that, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I can sit here and confidently say as a man that yes, some of the things probably will get to me. And I think that's just a part of the learning process, and especially when you sort of expose yourself, you know, in terms of trying to facilitate and build an online audience. And I don't know exactly if she is going to see this, but maybe she will. But just know that I'm here for you, and I hope you understand that, you know, everything that I'm telling you is from the bottom of my heart, and I'm just trying to be the stability you need in your life over these past 4 years. But it's a struggle to say the least. But you know, I think overall what keeps me going is the prospect of love, and just understanding that the possibility is there, the chance is there, and I'd much rather try and fail than fail to try. Because if you fail to try, the only answer that's ever going to be there is failure. So I think we'll leave you guys with that. Try to keep this a little bit short and sweet. Let me see. Perfect timing.
You feel me?
And like I said, we're gonna come back to this topic too, because like I said, this is like a multi-part video. So
subscribe to see part 2. You already know what it is, bro. Progress the family.
So like I said, just kind of I know we didn't really kind of recap on necessarily like what sort of things make us happy or something like that. We're kind of more of a blanket statement for both of us, but my brother and I, obviously we're brothers because we share pretty similar views on a lot of things, and there's a lot of things that we don't see eye to eye on, but what makes us brothers is the fact that we can grow and learn from each other, and understand that just knowing different perspectives from people, because your perspective isn't the only perspective, and your choices and your answers aren't the only right answers for someone that isn't, for things that aren't actually factual and that isn't more obviously opinionated. So with that said, spread love, give love, show love, and be loved.
And subscribe.
Yes, we've been getting way too many views to not be getting subscribers like that. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, because there's gonna be many more videos like this coming in the future.
Most definitely.
We appreciate your time. I hope this kind of touched some people and just kind of open your eyes a little bit in terms of what we're trying to do. And like I said, this is what it's all about, just trying to reach people in a positive way. And at the end of the day, have a blessed day. It's your boy Jeameave,
your boy Machiavelli,
the Views from the Heart, and we're out.